And we've all been there, sitting in the doctor's office, waiting and waiting and waiting and stabbing our hand with a pen and still waiting.
I wouldn't go that far, but yes.
I'm just saying. Well, one woman decided that her time was valuable and worth something. She billed her doctor for spending 2 hours in the waiting room, and guess what? The doctor paid up, sending her a check for $100. So do you think doctors should reimburse patients who spend too much time in the waiting room?
Good for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why they think their time is more valuable than ours. I mean, a lot of people are taking off of work to go to the doctor, and they end up sitting there for like 3 or 4 hours. There's no reason for it.
Right.
If you're not ready for me till 11, tell me to come at 11. Don't tell me to come at 9:30 or 10 and make me sit there.
And a lot of times they'll give you a 15-minute window. Hey, come 15 minutes early if you want to fill out, the new insurance paperwork or whatever. I can understand that. But you're right, Amber. I mean, we squeeze these into our lunch hours. Oftentimes we have to take our kids, and it doesn't make sense when you are leaving your job, which is a billable expense, and then you're going there to sit. I commend her for doing this. And a lot of doctors are writing checks to patients. He wasn't the only one. There are several who have reportedly written their patients checks in an apology or given them a gift of some sort.
See, that surprises me. I think it's fantastic, but I find it shocking, really.
Well, let me flip it over to the other side here, just to play devil's advocate. If you go to the doctor for something minor and the doctor says, you know what, this is pretty serious. We need to deal with this right now. And this is so important, I'm going to take the next hour to help you. You expect that. But all of a sudden, guess what? You've impacted every single person in that waiting room. So obviously, I think most doctors have an honest effort to treat the people at the time they're scheduled to be treated. Whether or not that always happens.
But you have to give a phone number. You have to give some sort of number, to the doctor's office, maybe a phone call. Hey, we're running about an hour behind today.
Yeah.
Just letting you know, don't be here right at 11, or as you said, for your, fake appointment, but still push it back a few minutes.
I think that sounds great. But I mean, listen, the truth is, when I go to the doctor, I expect to wait half an hour. It's just part of my plan.
But she waited 2 hours.
That's pretty crazy.
Half an hour is one thing, several hours.
If they're going to start writing checks out, the DMV better get a giant checkbook, because they're going to be writing a lot of those out. I've sat in the DMV for an hour and a half.
But you don't make appointments to go to the DMV. You go in and you stand in line. Right. You don't make an appointment.
Fair enough.
Right.
They need to book better.
Right.
I think a lot of it is you're absolutely right. Stuff like that does happen, but a lot of it happens to do with just overbooking. There's too many people.
All right, let's get to what you're saying on Facebook. Laurel Meckham writes, if it is longer than 20 minutes, then yes, definitely. The whole day shouldn't be taken out by one doctor appointment.
And we have Camille Reeves. She says, then they have the nerve to charge us if we miss an appointment. So yes, pay me.
Justin Morris says, yes, absolutely. I averaged a 2-hour wait with my PCP when I was on time. We have to be on time. They should too.
Cameron Adams writes, don't pay me, just deduct an amount from my bill. And again, you can do it that way too, I guess. You can go the other direction.
I'm not even looking for compensation. I'm just looking for what Susan said, a phone call saying, hey, we're running late. I mean,
because again, you're squeezing these into your own day.
There's just an assumption there that everyone else's time is not as valuable as what's happening there. And, for busy moms, there's a lot that needs to be done in a day. And to sit and wait 3 hours for nothing, it's wasted time.
Well, let me read Pamela Odom's comment, just to throw it on the other side, because obviously I'm playing devil's advocate here. Pamela says, if I were a patient with a horrible medical need and the doctor said, sorry, I have another appointment, I'd find myself looking for another doctor. Sometimes doctors fall behind for good reasons. A rule of thumb is to ask if the doctor is running on time, then reschedule if you have to.
Yeah, that's true. Those things do
and Herman
absolutely
Mercado
happen.
agreed. He said if it's an emergency, that's one thing. All right.
Alrighty.